Hello and welcome back to the lesson. In this lesson, we are going to discuss the principles of public participation, which in our last session we defined as the process by which individuals or communities or organized groups are given the opportunity to influence and take part in the decisions, policies, or programs that affect them before those decisions are finalized. So individuals or citizens are given an opportunity to make decisions, to take part in the decision-making process where the decision is going to affect them. And it involves the government on decision-making bodies actively seeking and genuinely considering the views, the needs, and also the interests of citizens and stakeholders throughout the process of policy making, rather than simply informing them after decisions have already been made. So public participation is a process by which individuals take part, are given an opportunity by the government to take part in the decision-making process on programs or policies that directly affect them. And in this lesson, we are going to analyze some of the principles of or guidelines of public participation. And the first principle is inclusiveness. Inclusiveness. That means that all affected and interest parties, especially the marginalized and the vulnerable groups, should have a genuine opportunity to participate, and not just those who are dominant or those who are well resourced to take part. Everyone should be included in the process of making decisions that affect everybody. That is the first principle, inclusiveness. The second principle is transparency. Transparency. To be transparent. That is to mean that information that is relevant to the policy issue must be openly shared in an accessible language and also format so that participants can engage meaningfully rather than blindly. So the information must be shared openly. To be transparent is to be open. There is a principle of timeliness. Timeliness is also a principle. Participation must occur early enough in the process to actually influence outcomes and not as a token exercise after key decisions have already been made. Before the decisions are made, the individuals, the citizens must be given an opportunity to participate. Principle number 4 is accountability. Accountability. There ought to be accountability. That is to mean that decision makers must demonstrate how public input, they must demonstrate how public input was considered and also explain the outcome. Okay? Even if their input was not fully incorporated. So when individuals come and participate before a decision is made, because people give input, then the policymakers use the input to arrive at a certain conclusion. After the conclusion is reached, there has to be accountability in the sense that the citizens must be told how their input affected or was used to come at a certain decision. That is the meaning of accountability. 5, good faith. Good faith. Good faith simply means genuineness. Participation must be real input into a decision. Okay? And not a formality to legitimize a predetermined outcome, what we call participation washing. That should be avoided. It has to be done in good faith and there has to be genuine. 6, non-discriminatory. Non-discriminatory. That is to mean that there ought to be special effort that should be made to include groups that are historically excluded from the decision-making processes, like women, like youth, like persons with disabilities, minorities, the low-income communities, and so on. Non-discriminality. That's principle number 6. Principle number 7 is what we call responsiveness. Responsiveness. How is responsiveness a principle? That is to mean that government institutions should adapt processes and, where appropriate, outcomes based on the input that is received. The government should respond to the people's needs, because people come and participate through airing their needs, their concerns. People should see that their concerns or the input was incorporated in the process of making a public policy or a program. Then lastly, continuous. Continuous. Public participation should be continuous. It should not be a single event, but an ongoing process across the policy cycle. It should be continuous, right from formulation to implementation to evaluation, then back to formulation. That cycle, it has to be continuous. It's a continuous engagement. It should be a continuous engagement. It should not be a one-off thing. And candidates, that's the end of today's lesson. These are 8 principles of public participation. Number 1, inclusiveness. Number 2, transparency. Number 3, timeliness. Number 4, accountability. Number 5, genuineness. Number 6, non-discriminatory. Number 7, responsiveness. And lastly, it's a continuous engagement. Thank you for attending the lesson. Bye-bye.